thought, an idea produced by or occurring suddenly in the mind. He has no idea what he's doing, but he's giving it his all. It's him. It's really him. Your host, Matt Logan.
Hey everybody, welcome. There's a lot of things that really define our perspective in life, isn't there? Well, certainly the crash of my daughter about 8 years ago really defines my perspective. There's another bunch of things that define my perspective in life. My perspective comes from a crash that I witnessed that 5 people ended up dying. In fact, I have a grandson now that's just over 2 years old. And this crash that I came up onto 10 years ago that I witnessed, I saw happen. The guy ran a stop sign, ran into a van, killed 5 people. That perspective that I have now because of seeing that has shapes the way I think, my thought. And my grandson, circling back to that, I found the little boy that was little over 2 years old. I found him in the long grass, like the long grass that's behind me. And he was still alive. I could never will describe what I saw that night, but it's definitely shaped my perspective. I also, after the death of my daughter in a car crash, I had a business that burned down in a fire with no means to recover anything that was in the business nor to rebuild that. That shaped my perspective. I've driven over 200,000 miles in the last 2 years. I've flown over 260,000 miles in the last 2 years. Those stories of people that I see along the way shapes my perspective. For 20 years, I built furniture with that business. It shapes my perspective when things like that happen. There's going to be some things that you probably don't like with my perspective, but it's mine. I own it.
Perspective, a particular way of considering something, a point of view.
And that's okay if you don't like it. And what I found in my life that when I need to have, when I don't like someone's perspective, I need to have self-reflection. I need to look inside. I need to figure out, am I looking at that from my confirmation bias, or am I walking in your shoes? Am I putting myself in your position, in your shoes, and walking that mile? I try to do that. I'm not good at it. I try to do it. That gives me my perspective. Now, a lot of the things that I'm going to say that you don't like might feel like I'm attacking you. It's not the case. I'm not attacking anybody. In fact, if I were to do that, which it's highly unlikely, you're going to know it. I'm going to directly say that I'm going after someone or something, and again, unlikely. Probably not going to happen. The other thing that I have to think about that shapes my perspective is that it sucks that you're going to think that my perspective is wrong. Perhaps it is, but it's mine. My perspective, it's powerful. Your perspective is powerful. And if you don't like my perspective, just keep scrolling. Keep going along. Do something different. Perhaps you want to compassionately reach out to me and tell me what your perspective is. And I say that wholeheartedly, compassionately. Reach out to me compassionately, because attacks I'm not going to respond to. It's that simple. My perspective is the thumb wars on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those other things. They're not productive. It's not very hard to get a hold of me personally. Get a hold of me personally. Compassionately share your perspective, and I'll listen, and we can have a conversation. Part of my perspective is shaped when I invite a guest on the podcast and they don't even respond to me. My perspective of what they do and what they think is shaped based off of their response or no response. Think about that. Response is important, and no response is also important and very powerful. You see, I'm a dime a dozen. There's a lot of people out there like me. I am like you. I'm in the trenches. I'm working hard like you. I'm doing things to make ends meet like you. I'm trying to figure out all the things that are going on in society on a daily, weekly, yearly basis. There's a lot of things that I do that I'm like you when we work together and we work in the trenches. We work hard to make ends meet. I'm hurt by the words that people say, nasty things that people say. I'm hurt when people don't respond to me, when I don't understand why they're not responding. And you see, what makes each of us unique also makes each of us the same. And one of the things that makes us unique is our perspective and the way that we think and our thought. See, but we each have loneliness. There's flies all around me. I'm outside, as you can see, but we each have loneliness and sadness, and we each experience joy and happiness, and we need words of affirmation to really get us through our day. We need those things, and we're all the same in that way, but each of us has a different perspective based off of things that have changed and shaped our lives. And you see, there's many things that I'm going to say that we probably don't share, and that's okay. I'm going to circle back to share your perspective with me. Compassionately reach out and share your perspective. One of the things that is most powerful for people to do within actually their circle of influence is just to share the videos. If you like a video, whether it's this video or another person's video, share it. Hit the share button. It's really easy. YouTube has it, and Twitter has it, and Facebook has it, Instagram has it, and all these things, they have it. And throughout this different podcast that we're going to be doing thought and perspective, I'm going to give you my thought on I am shiny. You see, I am strong. I am hope. I am influential. I am necessary, and I am you. And that I am you is kind of deep, and I hope that you stay tuned and listen to that. But you see, we're interconnected as a society, as a people, because we're humans. And if, your pets are listening, sorry, but they don't understand that part. But we're each connected in this world that we live in. So I am you. We're going to talk about that in different episodes coming up. There's some things that I've been playing close to the chest that you're going to learn more about me personally and what I've been doing kind of behind the scenes for work and things like that, just to make ends meet. Some of the things that I've decided that I'm going to share that I help other people do and things like that. So I hope that you stay tuned. We have some guests coming up in the podcast that are going to be pretty spectacular, working on a lot of different things that they'll be one-on-one, just you and I, like this right now in the podcast and things like that. So again, like, comment, share. If you like something, don't be scared to like it. If you like something, share it. If you have a thought, have a comment on it. Let's not be scared to comment, like, and share. And I just want to say this, because I am you. Don't shame people. Don't point fingers at people. It's really something that has made me incredibly sad of our recent circumstances. People are pointing fingers and shaming and blaming and things like that. It's our perspective. Let's share it. See you next time.